Welcome back to Breakfast Central. The new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, described as a welcome development a proposal by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar that opposition parties merge to defeat the ruling All Progressives Congress in the 2027 presidential election. According to the acting national chairman of the party, Abba Ali, the merger of opposition parties before the 2015 elections led to the defeat of the then ruling People's Democratic Party, PDP, by the All Progressives Party Congress, APC.
Ali said the call by Atiku Abubakar for a merger of opposition parties will help in checkmating the inordinate drive of the ruling APC towards a one-party state and protecting Nigeria's hard-earned democracy. He, of course, therefore added that the NNPP is looking at this issue from a much larger perspective and considering all factors inherent on it. Now, let's bring in political analyst, Barrister Bashir Badru. He joins us from Bauchi State. Good morning, Barrister. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure.
All right. Before we get into the details of the possibilities of a merger and whether they probably should have thought about this before and all of that, let's first of all talk about the concern about Nigeria falling into or going fast into becoming a one-party state. These accusations have emerged in the last few months. It's starting to become an actual fear. Do you agree with these people or these thoughts that the APC seems to be trying to make Nigeria a one-party state?
Thank you very much. You see, opinion is free, so everybody is entitled. And when you express your opinion about issues, you should also take into considerations the statistics and see whether this opinion will fit perfectly into what you are trying to express. This allegation was also made a few years ago that the PDP is trying to dominate the scene, and they even bragged about it. They said the PDP is going to hold the reins of power for, is it 50 years, they say, or so? And they were able to hold it successfully for 16 destructive years. So if APC is also saying the same thing or is being alleged of trying to do the same thing, it has always done, we should come to a conclusion and summarize that. This is the culture of politicians. When they are not in power, they allege that a particular party is trying to make the country a one-party system. There is nothing wrong in one-party system. Probably I should just let everybody hear my own opinion too. What is wrong is bad governance. If one-party system is going to give us good governance and everything will be in place and Nigeria will maintain or attain its dreamed status among the Committee of Nations, please give us one-party system.
Yeah, but I think that what people really look out for, is the sense or the possibility of some opposition party. What we currently have in Nigeria doesn't seem to, there doesn't seem to be a lot of that, and maybe that's why there's people who say that these fears emerge. We've also seen the way, I mean, these are really just wild statements here and there. They may not hold a lot of water, but they still exist. And of course, with the fear that there is no proper opposition party that has been able to challenge the APC and keep them on their toes, with the fear that the civil society has also not necessarily been, the best that it could be, the judiciary has also not been able to, give the very best, to defend the rights of the average Nigerian. Neither, has even the media. So these are concerns, that, people are pointing out, because without that level of opposition, a one-party state may not be what you're saying it could be.
Thank you. You see, we lost the idea of opposition parties a long time ago. A long time ago. We no longer have opposition parties. We have opponents in various camps. Those who lost from one party and felt that if my interest cannot be served here, let me switch over to another party. Where are these opposition parties? Who are these men in opposition parties? They are not just party members. There is no philosophy challenging the ruling party. There is no philosophy from a particular party to say, let's put the ruling party on their toes. party is seeking interest. Now Atiku can come out and say, we want to, we are reaching out to opposition parties so as to put the ruling party on their toes. Excuse me? This is just a self-serving statement. This is not a political statement in any way. And political, I am conscious, it's not a political statement. It's a self-serving statement by a politician. So what we are saying is that for a country like ours to have formidable opposition parties all promote good governance interests and not self-serving utterances, ideologies. No, where are the ideologies of NNPP? What are the ideologies of LP? What are the ideologies of PDP? What are the ideologies of APC, the ruling party itself? Everybody is just looking for opportunity to come on the reign and do whatever they like. So the philosophy that will make people, make the electorate to consider and say, okay, with this manifesto of this party, I think this is the party we should vote for. If it does not come to power, they maintain their philosophy, they maintain their ideology, and everybody will continue to see it as such. But this is not available to us. You may wake up this morning into APC, and by noon, you are in PDP, and by evening, you are in LP, and by midnight, you are in NNPP. That is not what we call opposition parties. These are just opponents in various camps. This is my own understanding. Yes, it will be wrong for a system like ours to be governed by a single party without philosophy, without ideology, and without good governance. It will be wrong. But if this is not the making of the party itself, the ruling party did not make the opposition docile, did not make the opposition parties ineffective. They made themselves ineffective, and the moment they saw that a particular party becomes a ruling party, you begin to see interest switching from one party to another, to the ruling party.
All right.
So where is the philosophy?
Mr. Bashir, Mr. Badru, let's talk about exactly what would constitute opposition parties. You've said that it's not necessarily about having opposition parties, it's about the quality of the politicians, and if we're having a one-party state, so long as we have politicians that have the interest of Nigerians at heart. So if we were, let's imagine that we're to actually run a one-party state, what will the opposition in that scenario look like from your perspective?
Thank you. If we have a one-party system, at least, no, if we have a ruling party dominance and the other parties are now into oppositions, what should they be looking out for? And these are the indices. They should have what it takes to put system in shape. For instance, we want to say, oh, our transportation system is in shambles. Okay, what are the solutions? How should it be done differently? And these are the things oppositions would usually in climes where we have oppositions, this is what they have. So-called opposition parties today go back to their respective states. At least the APC does not control these respective states held by the opposition parties. What have they done differently from other states governed by APC governors? So have they been able to put things from their own ideology of good governance? Have they been able to put it in shape for other states to see and say, wow, if they can be doing this, why not? Go back to Western regions during the regime of Obafemi Awolowo. We have people who know what it takes to govern and what are those things that will become the indices of good governance. We have schools, well-equipped schools. We have good roads. We have industries springing up in the name of Odua investments. Where are these things in the opposition states before their agitation for, oh, there should be a zero tolerance to one-party system? What have they put in place? Now, the ruling party should be made to understand that our country cannot continue in this trajectory without all these being set in place. What have they done differently?
But I want let's also have you speak about the merger idea or concept directly, because that's what we're that's the foundation of this conversation. The NNPP and of course Atiku Abubakar proposing a merger. Do you think this is also once again selfish interest? And do you think the way that it is currently structured, that would maybe have given the opposition, in quote, a stronger chance in the 2023 elections if they all came together, to of course challenge the APC at different levels?
Every party is just looking for opportunity to amass population to defeat the ruling party. Yes, the merger is a good idea. Let's see how it works. But the fact remains that it is not to serve the interests of the country. It is to serve the interests of some individual who felt that they have been cheated in the last election. So it is not, if it is for the interests of the country, it would have been very fantastic. It would have been very fantastic. You cannot just fold your arms and allow some individuals who were your bedmates yesterday now dictate how you live your life, and they're not doing it well. So you want to team up again and say, chase them away so that we can also retain the reign. No, this is not what it should be. Yes, the merger is a good idea, but why now? Where were they prior to 2023 elections? Why did they not come with this? These parties have existed before 2023 elections. Why have they not come together and say, the ruling party, having spent 8 years, what are we looking at? If we do not team up now, they became fragmented on personal interest. LP, the flag bearer of LP, left PDP because his interest is not served. The same NNPP flag bearer left the party, left PDP because his interest is not served. Come on. If they are teaming up again, what are they teaming up for? 2023, 2027 elections.
Exactly.
That's what they're teaming up for.
Yes, and you will come to talk about what their chances are in 2027 elections. You, however, have said that they're teaming up for selfish reasons, not prioritizing the country. So basically, you don't mind if what we have is a one-party system that ends up giving us the governance that we desire, or the governance that we should have. Looking at the reality of what we have on ground with the All Progressives Congress and the way that they've run the country, do you think that that party can give us the kind of governance that we should have as a country?
Yeah, I want to very sincerely say the last regime of All Progressive Congress, APC, in the last 8 years before the new government is a disaster. And the anticipation of Nigerians was so high that we felt genuinely that this party will come to liberate the suffering masses. But unfortunately, in fact, the country was plunged into a deeper trench. Now, this new party is just, this new government is just about 6 months or 7 months old. It is safe to say that there are policies this present administration has been trying to push out there to remedy the destruction that was met on ground. I've not heard this government complain about the past administration, probably because it is the party, but we have seen that the past administration really left a huge gap for this present administration to fill. I think what we Nigerians should try to do is that come up with suggestions that we feel genuinely would remedy the situation we found ourselves today. In fact, the situation in the last 6 months is far worse, terrible, than what we experienced in the last 8 years. So we should come together, not as errant groups to destroy the administrative or the governance system, but come together as a group that meant seriously well for the development of this country. First, push these ideas out. The public will read them. The public will see them. And the public will force it on the National Assembly and the government to ensure that these ideas are credible. Why have you not taken them? But if we are not doing that, if we think that it is just because somebody lost in an election and he felt that he should have won, and that is the bandwagon we want to jump at, we'll get nowhere. The country, bring them on board in 2027. God forbid that we'll cry more than we are doing now.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, we have, it's 4 years, to survive from what you've analyzed. It doesn't seem like the right steps have been taken. Many people would argue that we may not be heading in the right direction, and Nigerians have to actually endure it for the next 4 years. So we'll see. Barrister Bashir Badru, thank you very much for joining us and for, of course, sharing your thoughts with us on this very important topic. We'd like to speak with you again pretty soon.